My mother was a player in a quest. Once her mission was a success, she exited this world, leaving me behind with 4 fathers. The first was a billionaire CEO, the second was a famous movie star, the third was a world-renowned doctor, while the fourth was incredibly powerful and influential. My 4 fathers spoiled me rotten for 16 years, giving me everything I ever wanted. That was until 3 years ago when Sadie, the daughter of the one that got away, returned. Since then, my 4 fathers believed her over me. Sadie claimed that my mouth was filthier than a dog's, so they threw me in the dog kennel and fed me dog food. When she accused me of rallying the other students and bullying her in school, my fathers got me expelled and hired 3 street gangsters to beat me up for months. Once again, Sadie insisted that I pushed her, and as a consequence, my fathers locked me in a cage for 3 whole days in the name of teaching me a lesson. As I lay there in hunger, my mother's voice rang in my ear. "Neve, do you want to come back to mommy?" I snapped awake right away. It quickly hit me that it wasn't my mother, Kylie Seville, talking to me. It was the system. The system told me that Kylie had left an opportunity for me before disappearing from this world. If I wanted to, I had the option to travel to her world. Of course I did. However, I swallowed my answer before the words rolled off my tongue. I asked the system, will things be better with mom than right now? If she loved me, why didn't she take me with her back then? The system explained that Kylie accepted the quest because her mother was gravely ill. She came into this world to save her mother. Back in her world, Kylie was only a college student in her 2nd year. It took all her savings to save her mother, and still, she was buried in debt. At the time, my 4 fathers had promised that they would treat me as their own, regardless of who my father was. All they asked was for Kylie to have something to remember her by. Parents who loved their children would always think long-term for them. The last thing Kylie wanted was for me to suffer with her, so she left me behind in this world. Neve, the system's voice was gentle like a caress. Your mother has been waiting for you all these years. She never dated or married anyone. She bought a quaint home and hopes you might one day come back to her. Are you willing to go to her? I nodded, relieved. The system expressed that I would only reunite with Kylie once my physical body stopped breathing. With that, I took my clothes off and tied them into a knot against the cage. I had seen a scene on TV before. If I slipped my head through the loop, gravity would take care of the rest. It was a good thing that the cage was large enough and I was short enough. As soon as I placed my head into the knot, the suffocating darkness gripped my neck. Despite my consciousness slipping, I was glad. It wouldn't be long before I would see Kylie again. I barely had 2 seconds to enjoy my happiness before someone called my name. The dog cage was flung open and I was pulled down. As air filled my lungs, I looked up and met a pair of panicked eyes. "Dad, Ethan?" Before I knew it, I blurted right out. It didn't take long for me to kick myself. The terror in Ethan Longham's eyes was replaced by disgust. "Don't call me that. You're not worthy." Ethan was my CEO father. Out of my 4 daddies, he spoiled me the most. Many assumed that Ethan was my biological father. I had his eyes. For years, I lived in Ethan's mansion. Ethan brought me everything my heart desired. He said that even if I wanted the stars in the sky, he'd find a way to bring them to earth for me. However, that unconditional love came to a halt 3 years ago. That was when Ethan brought Sadie Cook back from abroad. I learned then that apart from Kylie, there was one woman who held a special place in my 4 fathers' hearts. Back then, the woman had sold the 4 of them out and fled abroad after securing a massive payout. Kylie showed up and was there for them, pulling them out of the shadows of betrayal bit by bit. Later, the woman on her deathbed gave Ethan a call to apologize, and her last wish was for him to take her daughter, Sadie, in. Since Sadie was a little younger than me, my 4 dads expected me to play nice with her. I tried to be a good sister to Sadie, yet Sadie's intention was to hog all my father's love for herself. She would have random injuries all over her body, claiming that I hit her. Out of nowhere, she would roll down the stairs and point her finger at me. As the accusations against me grew, so did my father's disappointment. It all came to a head when Sadie was violated by a group of punks in a street alley. Once the attackers were caught, they named me the mastermind. There was nothing I could say to prove my innocence. From then on, I was the one they saw as guilty in this family. I was no longer